All right, range is hot.
Send it. Here we go. Last Minute Man, we are back on the range. I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what are we talking about today?
Oh, one of the hard-hitting calibers. We're going with a 300 Winchester Magnum today.
300 Win Mag. We have been spending so much time doing smaller calibers and everything. And I said, man, let's do a hard hitter. And Mr. Obvious wants to get this thing zeroed in for his future elk hunt when he retires. So we just want to get this, know exactly where it's hitting. And all right, Mr. Obvious, tell us about the rifle scope combo you have here.
Well, we got a Steyr. We got the twisted steel hammer forged barrel.
It is a sweet looking barrel too.
Yep, yeah. We got a little pole mount sitting on it with the Husqvarna scope sitting on top of that. So it's a great setup.
Yeah, I'm really excited to shoot this baby, see how she does. We'll get into what we think about the rifle itself and the AAR. We already know Mr. Obvious loves it, so this is his go-to. He said when I'm going out for that big elk hunt that he's wanting to do, he said this is what I'm taking. So we want to make sure it's shooting precisely where he wants. And you got this thing zeroed initially at 200 yards, correct?
That's where it was, and I think we've not shot it in a couple years,
So we're going to make sure it's hitting there. Then we're going to make sure out at 400, you know, if his minutes of angle are correct.
Yep.
But I'm really excited to shoot this thing, see how she does, and see how we do, because we're a little rusty at the 400. We haven't done it much. I was having my new garage built and all that for my workshop. So now that we got that done, and we have no wind today, did I jinx us?
Very little. Very little.
so we're gonna get this set up, and I'm so excited. So without any further ado,
let's get
some shooting. Okay, there, Mr. Obvious. What bullet we shooting, and what's our plan here?
Well, we're going to shoot a 165 grain ballistic tip, and it's what we're shooting with Ogden 1000 powder. And what I'm going to do is we're not going to dial the scope. We're going to hold on the head part of the target down there.
Roger.
And see if we can still hit without dialing the scope.
Right.
Then if we still hit the target, then we'll dial up from there.
Yeah, we'll know where to take it after we see it hit, because we're not sure if he zeroed this at 200 or 100, and this will tell us.
I'm thinking it's 200. I'm not 100% sure.
We'll know after today. You'll have a video record, so you'll remember. All right. Well, send it, Mr. Obvious. He is aiming at the tip top of this dude's head there.
All righty. We're hot. Ready to go?
All right. You hit it. So you had to have that 0 to 200 to be hitting.
Yeah.
So where'd you hit there?
I don't know. Everything fell. I think it got some recoil to it.
Your hat blew off and everything.
Yeah, the hat flew off. The sandbag flew off.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Love that 300 Win Mag. Let's see your math here when you do your dial, and let's take us to dead center there, Mr. Obvious.
All right.
And I like folks at home to be able to see this. So you've got that turret. It is set to 0. So that was a 200-yard 0.
Yeah. So we're going to go probably 10 clicks or 12 clicks.
Okay.
I'm thinking 12 clicks.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So send another one. Aim dead center this time, and let's see where you hit.
Let's see. So we went to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see where we're at.
Boy, in the camera there, from what I can see, it looked like you hit center.
I hit almost right beside the other bullet hole.
Did you really?
After dialing.
So you need to dial it back down some.
Yeah, so I got to dial it back down. I tell you what, this gun here always was a real good shooting gun.
Yeah, now how old is this rifle, Mr. Obvious?
I would say this gun was built in the, is it built in the 90s?
Okay.
Yeah, it was built in the late 90s.
And Steyr makes a good product. I really like their rifles.
Yeah, it's a Steyr Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see where you hit this time.
Just above the black, about that far.
I think that's about where you want to be then. All right, now what I'll do is go down there, repaint this target, and Mr. Obvious is going to do a 3-shot group with these 165 grain, and then I'll repaint it, and we'll do a 3-shot group with some 180s. So stick with us. All right, so I had Mr. Obvious drop it one more click because he was a good 4 inches above the black on that. So we got it dropped one click. I got it painted. I'm going to head down here and get this thing fired up.
All right, last minute man, range is hot.
Okay, go back and repeat that again.
Range is hot, ready to rock.
Send it there, Mr. Obvious.
10-4. All righty, 3's down. Check the targets.
All right, range is clear. Good to go.
Range is clear, bolt open.
All right, so we are over here at the target, and I'm going to put some tape on this, see where we're at. You got 2 right on top of each other. I don't know what order these were shot in, but he is 4 3/4 there, it looks like, on both those. So 4 3/4, and he was still hitting high. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this. I'm going to go back and shoot with the 180 grain, which is my preferred load for game, and see how I do on it. I'm not going to make any adjustment to the turret because I expect that bullet will be hitting lower anyway. So we'll get back there and see how I do. These. All right. Okay.
Yep.
Well, here we go.
Looks like we're rolling.
All right, Mr. Obvious. So I'm going to take these 180 grain and aim dead center, see
Yep.
where we hit. And these are a core lock bullet.
All righty, let me get my ears in.
Oh, you better. This thing's loud.
All right, my ears is in. We're ready.
All right. Now, I have not practiced with this trigger pull or anything, so we'll see how I do. All right. Send another one. Yeah, there's a lot of spread on those. Yeah, so that looks pretty wide to me. We'll get down there and measure it and see how.
Right, after a little ride from the rock store, we're going to see what Last Minute Man has done.
All right.
What have you got here,
Well,
big dog?
nothing to write home about, but it's still a dead elk, I'd say.
Oh, gosh,
But
yeah.
we are, let me get it like this so you can see. We are right there at 5 1/4 inches, so I'm over a minute of angle. However, those weren't really a target load. You said you kind of set those 165 grainers up to be a target load, and you were hitting just over a minute of angle with that.
Yeah.
About 1 1/4, or less than 1 1/4. And I was hitting about 1 1/2 here. So that's not bad.
Now, that right there is a dead elk or deer.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't, yeah, that's in there.
For sure. I'll tell you this. I love shooting
Well,
a good 300 Win Mag like that.
yeah,
That was
well,
fun.
you ain't shot that gun in over 2 years, so
yeah.
the trigger,
Those were my first shots.
trigger pull and
years.
everything, that's not bad.
But no, I didn't think it was bad, but we'll get back up there. Okay, so Mr. Obvious is going to be shooting a 168 grain Sierra Boat Tail Match King hollow point, and he's going to take 3 shots. We're going to see how it zeros. We ran out of paint, so we'll get it as clear as we can, but I am down here in the bottom, so he will be shooting over me. So this is going to be pretty neat. Don't worry, I'm plenty safe. I'm far out of the way of anything.
All right, range is hot.
Send it.
You can just hear that rolling through here. It's so cool. I love it. Man, that sounds sweet.
Range is clear.
All right. So we are here with those 168 grain Sierra Match King Boat Tail hollow points. And this is pretty awesome. He is sub MOA with this. Let me get a good, yeah, you are, what is he? Just over 3 3/4 on that. That is so cool. So I think we found what that baby really likes. But again, that is a target bullet, but really awesome. And we are back with our after action report. And what do we have to report today, Mr. Obvious?
I tell you, we got to report this thing ain't dropping near as much as I thought it would, but
No.
I am zeroed at 200. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite zero. A lot of people likes the 100.
Right.
I like 200. That way I can hold from 50 yards to 200 yards dead on. Then if
Just do your holdover out to 300 probably.
300, I'll hold just below the top of the deer's back or whatever, and that's still kill zone all the way up
Roger.
to 300 yards. So
Yeah.
you
So,
know.
and that is a logical place to zero. Now, if you're going to run a turret and everything like this, and you want to be precise, you can zero it at 100, and I think you'd be fine doing that because you can dial, and I've seen a lot of people do that on the interwebs. You see a lot of YouTube videos of people doing that, and Mr. Obvious is real keen on that. For me, if I'm out hunting, the last thing I want to do in the middle of, because you know it's going to be raining when your deer comes along. You know that's going to be happening. It's going to be freezing cold. Now, I've got my deer. I get my rangefinder, and now I'm, I don't want to do that.
No.
So I'm zeroing at 200. Anything over 300 yards, I probably is kind of out of my comfort zone to take a shot at anyway. Just know your limitations. Know what you're capable of. And let's talk about this here rifle. and I think that's just good advice.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
it is.
there's people out there. I mean, I'm in no way, shape, or form some great white hunter or something, okay? But there's a lot of people better than me. But you know what you can, and know more importantly what you can't do.
Yeah.
And I think that's
knowing your gun, the bullet drop, and all that is a big plus. No matter it,
Right.
no matter if you're 0 to 100. Know your gun, know your bullet drop. You're good, but I prefer the 200.
And again, practice, and
It's a lot less guesswork at 200.
I think so.
It's a lot less at 200.
So. But let's talk about this here rifle. This action is, well, you got
roll it forward.
Yep. This action is smooth as glass.
Oh yeah, that's a nice gun.
I love this action, and the trigger pull on it. What are we at here? I mean, what is that? 2 pounds? You know,
and maybe 3.
Maybe
I mean, that's
3.
factory. It's never been. Yeah, it's never been adjusted. It's factory. I left it alone because it had a great trigger on it.
And it's got no creep, and I love it. And I'll tell you what, this limb saver on the back. I said, Mr. Obvious, did you load those rounds high? He said, no, it's got a limb saver on it. I didn't even realize that was back there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this didn't kick any harder than a 308.
No,
you know,
sweet.
with that on there, it was really nice.
No, that is the Steyr Hunter, so that is a great gun. Accurate as it all can get out.
Really is, and it's not too heavy.
A little bit heavy, not too bad.
It's not too bad. I mean, modern day sporter rifles and stuff that's out there are real light, but again, this isn't like unwieldy in any way.
Yeah, I think we're running about 9.5 pound with that heavy scope on it.
Right.
That's a heck of a scope out of Huskama. So
if you are hiking at altitude and stuff, you may want a lighter rifle. But I think if as long as you're not 70 years old or something, I think you'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just don't have enough good to say about it. I really enjoyed shooting this. Now, as far as the rounds we were shooting. Like I said, 180 grain is probably what I'd like, or 175 even. And the only reason I say 175 is because that is the traditional sniper bullet. You know, what a lot of guys use for accuracy in the military, or what the military recommends using. And those are a Sierra Match King Bowtail Hollow Point. That's what they're using. Those 175 grain bullets that they shoot out of a 300 Win Mag or a 308. They use the same bullet. And Mr. Obvious and I had done a video, it's been a couple years ago. And we did a video, and we were touting how much we love these 168 grain Sierra Match King Bowtail Hollow Points.
Yeah.
And we had a fellow in the comment section say, oh, you couldn't kill anything with that. They don't open up. They're like a Full Metal Jacket. Well, when I was in the military, we weren't playing patty cake, and everything we used was a Full Metal Jacket. Now, go by what's legal in your state. I mean, obviously a ballistic tip or a like a core lock bullet is better. I mean, for sure, that's what I prefer. But yeah, trust me, if you're sporting a 168 grain Bowtail Hollow Point, it's going to do plenty. I mean, anything it hits is not going to like it.
Yeah. Well, I've taken a deer with that 168 grain Hollow Point Bowtail match. There's a little over 325 yards. And I'm telling you what, it went through one side and out the other. And it tells you on the box, not recommended for hunting. But let me tell you, I recommend it for hunting because when it
if it's legal where you're at.
If it's legal where you're at. When it exited that deer, I'm telling you what, there was a stream of blood and other stuff laying on the ground that come out of that deer. It sucked out of it just like a vacuum cleaner 20 yards past that deer. I said, that is a bad round.
Yeah, they really are. Now, having said all that, the reason I'm all for having a bullet that gets good penetration. I mean, I think that is the most important thing other than the bullet diameter and weight. But like Mr. Obvious was hunting with a 6.5 Creedmoor, and he had some Hornet 8 ELDX bullets. And I've never seen a deer get maimed so bad in my life. You shot that deer, and the bullet, not only did it not exit, so no blood trail. Well, in fact, he called me up to help him track it, and I said, are you sure you hit that thing? Because there was no blood trail, and when we finally found the deer, he had to shoot it 3 times. And that is no joke. That happened. And heck, what were you? 230 yards, I think.
Yeah, 235 yards.
235 yards is where he hit it with that 6.5 Creedmoor ELDX bullet, and it penetrated about
that deep into the shoulder,
3 inches, and then disintegrated.
So
you had this deer hobbling around. It took us 2 hours to find him. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants an animal to suffer like that. And, found out the hard way, those bullets, I mean, now your mileage may vary. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there that's telling me they're getting great results with that bullet. But that was the second year he hunted with it. And he said that was 2 times that happened.
That's two. I had to shoot 2 10-pointers 3 times.
And these were 2 different boxes of ammo, too. So it wasn't like the same defective box or something.
They go in. So if you shoot a deer with them, take a long shot. Like you would with a bow or something, cause if you shoot the shoulder, it's not going to make it in.
Or if you hip bone, it's going to disintegrate and possibly not make it out, from our experience with that. So I would much rather shoot a bullet that I know is going to penetrate and make it out. You're going to get a blood trail. I think that's like common sense. I don't even think I need to explain that. But I really like a core lock bullet. That's really my favorite go-to.
That's a good bullet.
Yeah, my nephew, this hunting season, the deer he brought down, he used a 180 grain 308, and it was a core lock. So, took it down no problem.
Yep, you get full penetration through both sides. And, it's a good bullet.
Yep, and physics, the heavier the bullet, the more energy you got. So it's all about that too. So realize that when you're taking a far shot, how many foot-pounds of energy you're leaving out there. We'll let this plane get over. We got a prop plane flying over.
Yeah.
Give him a second here.
Maybe he'll dust our crops in the wintertime.
I don't think don't got any cash.
Yeah.
All right.
The bullets, I mean, we had good results today. On all,
I think so.
All 3 rounds at 400.
I think so. I mean, like I said, it's not competition worthy, what we were doing, but sub MOA with those 168 grain, that was really nice.
That was really nice. That 165 was right there close to it.
And the 168, we got and that could have been me, but we got our worst group with that. But all of them were a kill on your desired game at 400 yards.
Yep, the 180 opened up a little bit, but it's not it ain't a competition bullet, it's a hunting bullet. So.
Yeah, and honestly, if it takes you more than 3 shots, folks, to bring down your game, stop.
You're in trouble.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you a story. This was this season. Had a fellow on the farm behind me. He called and said, I shot a deer and it jumped your fence. Can I go over and get it? I said, absolutely. By all means, appreciate you calling. Well, I was down there cutting firewood, and I hear a kaboom, man. He was down the holler from me, and I'm like, what the hell? So then I hear kaboom. Like, kaboom, and I just screamed. I said, damn it. I said, you get him yet? Holy. If it takes you that many shots, man, to bring down the deer, hang it up. Especially, don't do that. Don't go onto somebody else's property and start shooting. That's, bad thoughts were running through my head right then. But anyway, anything to add, Mr. Obvious? No. Just remembering that kind of ticked me off. Just thinking about it. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's how accidents happen.
Get good before you go, man.
Yeah.
Get good at everything.
Don't maim an animal. Don't maim an animal.
I've done that with a bow.
And he was using a 7mm mag.
7 mag, yeah.
Yeah, how in the
Wound
hell do you
deer.
do that? Good God, man.
He gets nervous to buck acres and go out there and a buck deer and you start shaking,
or you don't take the time to get your rifle properly zeroed.
Yeah. Who knows?
So that would be my assumption on that. But definitely practice with whatever you've got. Make sure you're zeroed. Make sure it's a rifle you can handle. 300 Win Mag, really, it was gentle shooting out of this, but for some people, they're a little I guess, recoil shy. You might not want a 300 Win Mag. 243 is an excellent deer caliber. It works just fine. I don't like using it, but it works.
It's a little too light. I stay in for deer hunting and bigger game, 30 caliber or larger.
That's what I prefer. I know my dad, the only deer he's ever brought down, he brought down with the 243.
Yeah.
So he prefers the 243. But I don't like to maim anything. I like it to go down. I like it to go down as quick as possible.
I've killed deer for 243. It works fine, but you got to place your bullet in the right spot. You know?
Yep, that's for sure. And it's not going to leave much of a blood trail either.
No.
So those are all things to consider. But yeah, let us know in the comment section what you like to hunt with. Let us know what kind of bullet you like to hunt with, what you thought about our shooting here today. And anything to add, Mr. Obvious?
Oh, I could add a lot of stuff, but it'd take up camera time, so I'm not going to do it.
Anything important?
No.
All right, well.
Not really.
Okay, then with that, everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man and watch us on
Rumble.